Hi, I'm Jason Ramsden, and I believe we can all work on leading a more positive and intentional life. And this show details my journey by sharing my learning, stories, and conversations with guests. If you want to lead a more intentional life focused on being the best you possible, please subscribe today. Now, let's get into today's episode. Well, welcome back, my Positivity Posse. This is Positivity on Fire. I am your host, Jason Ramsden, and I appreciate you being here for another episode. Today, we are talking about leaping, leap, L-E-A-P, leveraging emotions actively through positivity. And you might be wondering to yourself, what the heck is leap? Why is leap? Oftentimes people tell you, hey, take a leap of faith when you're trying to do something new. Just jump, just leap. You can do it. And so when I started to break it down, I thought, all right, how could I make the word leap something that would work for people, something that was easy to remember? And when I think of leaping, I talk to myself about leveraging my emotions actively through positivity or through a positive mindset. And this is incredibly helpful when you're starting to think about, all right, a change in your life, whatever it may be. If you have to do something different, if you have to make a big change in your life, and you just think of leap, let's leverage those emotions. Because when you think about a big change and you have something that you're going to leap into and jump into, the first thing that comes to mind is fear. You get a little anxious, you're nervous, there's some stress that comes out. And this can manifest itself in lots of different ways. So when my kids were younger, we did a thing here in North Carolina called Indian Guides or Indian Princesses. And at the spring of every year, we made a big trip and went to a place called Seagull and Seafarer, and some of you may very well know that. It's a summer camp, but the YMCA used it for Indian Guides and Indian Princesses for the big kind of finale to the season of that year. And one of the things that one of the activities that the kids could do was a zip line. Really, really tall tower, a zip line over a pond down to the other end. And the activity really had like a line, huge line for it all the time. Kids loved it. When they're young, 8, 9, 10, and they're in that line and they're all excited at the bottom. They're excited about this change, something they're going to do for the very first time. And as they kind of start to climb up the tower, you can see some kids, the reality of getting to the top and having to leap off the tower and zip line across the water starts to sink in. And some of them, they just leap. They had this positive mindset about it. They had these emotions that were, I can do this. And they just leapt from the tower with their parent and zipped across the water to the other side. Others were hesitant. They weren't sure how to leverage their emotions, especially the ones that started to creep up in terms of being afraid. You get to the top of that tower and the wind is blowing. It is swaying a little bit because it's made out of wood, and you look down and you have the water in front of you, and you have to trust. You have to trust that when you leap, the water will catch you and you'll smoothly sail across the water. And those who leapt, rarely did a child walk back down the tower. Rarely did that happen. What happened at the end, the excitement that they had when they leapt, when they realized that it wasn't as difficult as they had thought, the smiles on their faces when they got to the other end, the high five with their dad, it was an incredible feeling for both the kid and the parent. So when you think about leveraging your emotions, what are some of the benefits of that? What comes to pass when you are thinking about a big change in your life? And I found a really good resource here. The Mayo Clinic talks about it. Why positive thinking is important. And not only do you get mental benefits from having positive emotions around focusing yourself on leveraging those emotions, but you also get physical benefits as well. And I had no idea that was a component of having a positive mindset. I always thought to myself, having a positive mindset about making sure that you're kind of getting yourself pointed in the right direction and having goals moving forward. But the benefit, both physical and mental, is real. So how do we leverage our emotions positively? So let's get into some of those benefits quick, just so you know them. So on the physical side, positive emotions, they help you have a longer lifespan, improved heart health, and a reduced risk of death from heart disease, increased immunity, lower blood pressure, stress reduction, better physical health, greater pain tolerance. The mental benefits: lower rate of depression, improved mood, better coping skills, greater creativity, greater problem-solving abilities, clearer thinking, and increased confidence and courage. And I love that last one, increased confidence and courage. That helps you leap into many things in your life, to be forward focused, to think about what comes next for you. When you're talking about the future, when you're talking about what comes next for you in your life, your future doesn't change unless you work on things right now, today. There's no way that you're going to have a different future if you continue to do the same things over and over and over again in your life, expecting a different result. No, you're going to have to make a change in some form or fashion. And as soon as you pivot, you get into the leap mindset. You get into the ability to leverage your emotions around positivity, leverage your emotions actively and proactively. You are setting yourself up to be on a really good path moving forward. You can't have a different future if you continue to do the same things over and over again today that are keeping you from moving forward. And know you're saying to yourself, and we talk about this all the time on the show, like there is challenging change. It is difficult to move forward. It is hard to break habits. I get that. But let's talk about positive thinking to begin with. What is it? What is this positive thinking all about? If you want to become a more positive person, if you want to leverage your positivity, you have to change your beliefs. And that's the mindset in your head. Those are the things that you tell yourself about yourself, the things that you tell yourself about your life, the things that you tell yourself about other people. When those things are negative in nature, you're not going to be able to move yourself forward. Negativity holds us back. It is the constant anchor in our lives of keeping us from moving forward. And the only way to do this is to make a conscious choice about changing your thinking. And it has to be done through repetition, just like anything else. Anything you want to change in your life, you have to put the time in. You have to put the minutes in, the hours. You have to constantly do it. You have to be consistent about it as well. And eventually, like many other things, having a positive mindset becomes this unconscious habit. I know some of you may follow Marie Forleo, and she has a book called Everything is Figure Outable. In it, there's this quote. It says, any limiting belief can be erased and replaced. Best of all, changing your beliefs doesn't have to be hard. It just takes awareness, desire, and practice. Now, the scientific term for that is neuroelasticity, meaning that you can literally rewire your brain waves to live a better life. And I love that because normally we think like we've got this head and this skull, and it's like, that phrase, hey, they got a thick skull. Yeah, they have a thick skull, but inside that thick skull is this brain that is malleable. It can be rewired. It has some plasticity to it. It just takes time, and it takes repetition. Repetition. All right, so before you can leverage emotions actively through positivity, you have to first get yourself set up with a positive mindset. So what do you do? How do you go about adopting a positive mindset? It's not something that just appears. It's not something you wake up one day and you're like, yep, now I've got positivity. I have no negative thoughts in my head. No, that's not how it happens. First of all, you need to create awareness. In order to create awareness, you have to have the desire to do it. So let's just start right there. Step one, you got to have a desire. Got to have a desire to create the awareness, and you have to practice mindfulness. That's creating a state of this heightened mental awareness that everything is achieved through concentration, stillness, and a little bit of meditation. We've talked about that before. I'm a big believer in the Calm app. But practicing mindfulness allows you to slow things down. I'm a big believer in you have to go slow to go fast. And when you slow things down and you can start to recognize the thoughts that hijack your attention, the thoughts that throw you off track, the thoughts that really start to spin you out of control. Once you start to recognize those, it becomes a lot easier for you to change the patterns inside your head from the negative, harmful thoughts to the more positive, proactive thoughts. Another step in adopting a positive mindset is you have to have the desire. And I would almost say this desire has to be the number one component. You have to make a conscious decision that you're going to remove the negative and fear-based beliefs that aren't serving you well, the things that are stuck in your conscious, the things that are stuck in your unconscious, you're going to have to make a conscious choice to let them go. And once you make that decision, once you say to yourself, I'm going to be a more positive person, I'm going to work on having a positive mindset, I have to have the desire to be positive, your thoughts will start to move in that direction. They will. It's just part of what your brain does. Whatever you feed your brain, that's what it's going to eat, and that's what it's going to move forward with. So you feed your brain with negative thoughts, you're going to go down the negative path. You feed your brain with positive thoughts, you're going to go down the positive path. Number 3, in adopting a positive mindset, like lots of things in life, practice, 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 practice. You have to practice at allowing your brain to adopt the new system of positivity. One of the things that I like to tell my clients, because practice is this big word, right? The practice is this word where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not quite sure. That sounds like a lot of work. Well, yeah, it's a lot of work, but there's some shortcuts. There's some tips and tricks that you can do in order to practice. One of the things I tell my clients, one of the things that I think works really well is if you're struggling and you need some positive affirmations in your life, you can say them out loud, but tape them to your mirror. Tape them to the mirror in the bathroom. Let's say you're not a confident person. Let's say you're not taking courageous steps in your life. Post-it note, piece of paper, tape, whatever it may be, write on that, I am a confident and courageous person. Tape it to the mirror. Let's say you don't believe in the fact that you can do anything really well. Think about a day. Think about something that you did really well that day at work, in your personal life, wherever it may be, helping somebody out. Write it on a Post-it note. Put it on the mirror as a reminder that you can do amazing things. You see that on the mirror in the morning, you hop in the shower, you repeat it to yourself. I am confident and courageous. I am a person who can do amazing things. Now, I'm not suggesting you cover your entire mirror in Post-it notes or pieces of paper with tape, but be creative about it. Maybe you have weekly ones that you swap in and out. You have to have this way of going about your life that starts to point you in the direction of being positive. What are some things, and I found this online, I thought it was a great way to develop a positive mindset. So we put you in the framework of how do you adopt a positive mindset. Yeah, you got to have awareness, you have to have desire, and you have to practice. What else can you do? What else is out there? So this article has 10 ways to develop a positive mindset. And so I'm going to share them with you right now. Number 1, write and journal. And I know this maybe seems old school. People don't write anymore, pen and paper. But I took this up myself recently. I started a gratitude journal, and I do it every night before I go to bed. One of the things that I do is not only write down what I'm grateful for, but also, and this came from my own coach. I have my own coach that coaches me through things. And she said, write down obviously what you're grateful for, but also write down things that you are good at, grateful about yourself. So not grateful necessarily for just other people, but grateful for the things that make you who you are. If gratitude doesn't work for you, journal 3 to 5 things that you did really well that day. What went well? Not even things that you did well, but just what went well in your life. You can always find a handful of things that went well that day, even on the worst days. Number 2, I know it sounds corny. I get it. It's hard to speak words of positivity to yourself, but you're going to have to embrace them. You're going to have to embrace your affirmations. You're going to have to embrace the power of positive statements towards yourself. It's one of the greatest ways to internalize positive thinking. Put those positive thoughts onto your mirror and repeat those affirmations to yourself. Number 3, okay, this is social media now. And I've said before, sometimes it's good to hop off social media. Well, you could stay on it, just pivot and consume positive content instead of drama content. You have a choice. You can fill your feed with positive content, even if you need to unfollow or hide people who are the ones that are bringing negativity in your life. Number 3, meditate. I do it every day. I'm on day 184, I believe, straight. Meditate. It helps. There are studies out there that show that if you meditate on a daily basis, you create positive emotions. By focusing on deep breaths and anchoring yourself, you find that the positive thoughts start to enter your mind. Number 5, no brainer here, exercise and eat right. There's a huge connection between mind and body. It's important to feed both your mind and your body, and getting up and moving around, exercising and changing how you eat will certainly go a long way towards improving your positivity and having a positive mindset. And again, we've talked about this before. Exercise doesn't mean like you have to be at the gym for 3-4 hours. No, walking is one of the best form of exercises, and it can help you think. Go out for a walkabout and think about things in your life and do it with a positive mindset towards improving. Number 6, hang out with positive friends. You got negative friends in your life? Guess what? You got to dump them. I know that's hard. It's a harsh thing to say, but you are who you surround yourself with. If you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, and if all of them, maybe there's 1 positive person and 4 negative, you're going to be the average of the negativity. You have to change the people that you connect with, and you have to hang out with positive friends. Number 7, stop comparing. You are no one else. It is your life and your life alone, and it is your choice to move forward. The comparison game is something that everybody does, probably with a great deal of regularity. But you need to put that to the side. So rather than looking at somebody has X and I don't have that and looking at it as a weakness, look at yourself and say, hey, what do I have inside myself that is important to me? What is it? Find something in yourself that's a strength and stop comparing yourself to other people. Number 8, practice self-care. It's a huge part of having a positive mindset. As soon as you run yourself ragged and you have low energy and you're tired all the time, that's going to allow the negative thoughts to creep in. Practicing self-care, scheduling time for yourself during the day, during the week to take care of yourself, to do things that make you happy. Hobbies, gathering with friends, whatever it may be, do something that makes you happy every day, every week, every month. Number 9, do something good. Find something that you believe in. Do something good for someone else. Random acts of kindness, that's my go-to. So random acts of kindness towards other people, that always makes me feel good. But if you don't know where to turn, you don't know how you can do good in your life or who you can help, volunteermatch.org is a great way to match your interests with serving other people. Number 10, reframe your thoughts. And number 1 on this list is reframe your thoughts about failure. Positive people see failure as a learning opportunity. Negative people see failure as failure. So whenever you have a setback in your life, use it as a life lesson. Use it as a life lesson upon which you're going to build better thoughts. You're going to build momentum moving forward. Use it as a tool to propel you, not to hold you back. Don't let failure be an anchor in your life. Let failure be a balloon that lifts you up. Now, out of these 10 things, I can tell you I have conquered. I don't know if conquered is the right word. I have tackled a good number of these. I still need to work on embracing affirmations. I still need to focus on exercising. I'm in the process of working on eating right. And I need to work on stop comparing myself. And so I feel like if I can do it, I'm just an ordinary person. Like I say in this show, right? Positivity on fire. Ordinary people, extraordinary positivity. If I can do it, you can do it. I am no different than you. I am a human that lives in this world, that walks around, that interacts with other people. And if I can develop a positive mindset that I can build off of to make my life better, that I can share here and help to make your life better, I know you can do it as well. And if you find yourself struggling or you find yourself in need of help from a positive mindset kind of framing, reach out. Jason at positivityonfire.com. I'm more than happy to have a discussion to see if I can help you in any way, shape, or form. And just take one day at a time. One day at a time. You're not going to change overnight if you're really focused on becoming a positive person and you're looking to leap the chasm into positivity. It's going to take time and it's going to take some courage. And as we get ready to close out today's show, as always, thank you so much for being here. Every show I tell you, the gift of your time means the world to me. The greatest gift that you can give to someone else is their time. So thank you for being here. And as always, please remember, be well, be happy, be you. And until next time, may your quest for positivity begin today. If you liked today's episode, please go to podchaser.com, search for Positivity on Fire, and leave a 5-star rating and review. For more on my positivity quest, follow me at positively_J on Instagram or TikTok, or engage with the show by visiting direct.me/Jason Ramsden. Have an amazing day.